So if you have a business or you're starting a business, how do you grow it and at what speed? I wanted to discuss this because this was a question that came up, or a conversation that I was having recently in an initial consultation. And I think this can really depend on personality type. Some people just want to grow their businesses really quick, whereas other people are a little bit more calculated and want to be really careful with how they grow their business. And there's not necessarily a right way to do this. It does depend, as I said, on personality type. It can depend on your capacity, your motivation, your life situation, your resources, the partners that you have in business, if you have any, the economy, the demand for whatever it is you're providing through your business. So there's no one size fits all for business growth and the speed and the style in which you grow. However, you don't necessarily need to go all in and just try and grow it quickly. And I just want people to be aware of that, because I think some businesses can actually grow too quickly, and then it just creates issues where they don't have the right resources, they don't have the staff, they don't have the capacity to match the growth and meet the demand and satisfy the needs of their customers. And that can end up harming what would be a really successful business. So sometimes it might make sense to grow very quickly, especially if you have a business background and you've started a business before and you have the know-how and the capacity and the willingness to grow quickly. But don't feel like you need to do that. What I wanted to talk about in this video specifically is leveling up slowly. I think this is a better fit for most businesses, especially ones that are starting out, especially for people that are new to business. And I think this method is easier for most people because maybe they're starting a business on the side where they have, a full-time job and they just can't grow that quickly. Or maybe they're a bit, intimidated or nervous or insecure about starting a business and they want to grow it slowly. Or maybe they just have limited resources. So by leveling up slowly, what I mean is like increasing your spending, increasing your output, increasing your capabilities, capacity, and services over time. So for example, maybe you're starting your business and you don't have much available for money or resources. So you don't want to spend a bunch of money on advertising or training or whatever. So in that case, maybe you can just start slowly and not pay for advertising. And maybe you can find some clients or customers just through free advertising, through building a Facebook page or an Instagram page or on LinkedIn or TikTok or word of mouth, or going to different networking events or trade shows, or even sending out emails or cold calling or things like that. There are ways to generate business without spending any money, or at least without spending a lot of money. So that would be a good way to grow slowly. And then maybe if you can get some clients from that, and let's say you have some money coming in, generating a few $1,000s per month, now you'll probably feel more comfortable actually spending money on advertising. So that would be a form of leveling up, where you're starting here, you're not really spending any money on advertising. You get some clients and money coming in. So now you want to take that next step with how you advertise and how much you're willing to spend on advertising. And now that can be the same thing for things like employees or facilities. Start out just with yourself. And as the business grows and you're generating more money, you'll maybe feel more comfortable hiring an employee and then a second employee. Or maybe you can start working from home and just grow that business organically and slowly. And as it grows, maybe you need to lease a facility. Maybe starting out, you don't have a website, you just have a Facebook page and a Google business profile. And then again, once you get more comfortable in the business and you start to generate some revenue, then maybe you feel more comfortable building your own website or paying someone to do that. Even for myself, when I was starting out, I wanted to keep costs low. I understood that I needed to spend money to, have the assets, the equipment and software and things that I needed. But now that I'm more established in my business, I'm more willing to spend on things like maybe getting some consulting for myself or buying better equipment or things like that. I think as well, when your business starts to grow, you might just have less time to do those things. So maybe for the first year or two, you do your own bookkeeping, but then as your business grows, you just don't really have the time to do that anymore. But because it's growing, you have more income coming in. And because you have more income coming in, you're more willing to hire someone else to do your bookkeeping or your cleaning or some administrative work or sales or whatever it may be. So in general, I think this kind of slowly leveling up method is going to be suitable for a lot of business people, a lot of people starting their businesses. Again, especially those who are maybe starting their business small as kind of like a side thing, and maybe they have limited resources, or they're feeling a bit nervous or conservative in terms of how much they're willing to spend and how much they're willing to commit and how quickly they want it to grow. And I think that's totally fine. And I think that's a really suitable and appropriate way for most people to grow their businesses. And so hopefully this video was helpful. If so, please click like. And if you want to check out my YouTube channel, feel free to do so. I currently have over 170 videos that cover business startup and business management topics.